Okay, today you're getting yeehaw from me because I need to wrangle some of y'all up. Hey guys, it's Imurgency and welcome back to my channel. Can we all agree that the world of pop culture is really weird around celebrity relationships? Like, this has been a thing for a very long time, but I've recently been noticing this trend in the way that we interact with media and especially the way that we interact with celebrities. And you can think of this sort of as like a continuation or like a broader conversation of a video that I made a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago, I don't really know, about parasocial relationships between celebrities and their fans. But this video will focus more so on celebrity relationships and how we as fans consume that information, how the media presents and talks about celebrity relationships, and a little bit more interestingly, how celebrities actually strategically use their relationships for different purposes. But before we get into all that, if you're new around here and like all things pop culture commentary, fashion, and TV show reviews, which are currently on the back burner with the writers and SAG strikes going on right now, then you should definitely subscribe because I post videos every single week and they proceed to get cuntier and cuntier. Also, really quickly, like on this video and follow me on my socials at Imurgency on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter because I post more personal content over there and you don't want to miss it on a serve, honestly. But let's actually get into what inspired me to make this video. Now, if you've been on the internet at all within the past week, I'm sure you've heard of the Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner PDA moment that happened at Beyonce's concert in LA, which I also happened to go to and did take pictures with and recorded clips of the concert. So again, if you want to check out the Instagram, you should go and do that. But this was really shocking because there is video footage, live and in stereo, of Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet, who had been rumored to have been seeing each other for like the past couple of months, actually confirmed to be smooching and dancing up on each other and having a whole grand old time for the world to see. And news cycles and social media really ran with this. I didn't think it was gonna be that big of a deal, honestly, just because of the fact that there have been speculation and like hearsay about that sort of thing, about that specific relationship going on. Like, people were really mad. And that's what really took me back, because sure, is it shocking to see someone like Timothy Chalamet, Mr. Chop himself, with a member of the Kardashians, specifically Kylie Jenner of all people? Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone was expecting that necessarily. But I feel like the internet does this thing whenever two people, specifically two celebrities or influencers, get together that people won't necessarily pair together. Where, God forbid, if one of them is a heartthrob or has a lot of fans that are attracted to them, the internet, one, tears apart their partner, two, tries to make it seem like the person that's more favored was like tricked or seduced or like for some reason lost their wits about them and just stumbled upon this person and just assume that the heartthrob doesn't know anything about their partner's past or why people would be shocked about why they're together. And there's this big sentiment, which is in some parts a joke, of like trying to save the heartthrob in this situation, which is just so wild to me. Like, you literally see it all the time. Most recently, we've seen it with Halle Bailey and DDG, or his pop things likes to call him E-list rapper DDG, which in and of itself is an insane thing to say. We also see it with pretty much all of the Kardashian family. Most recently with Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny. Mommy, no, the mosquitoes. That will always live in my head. But it's just so wild how invested we all get into these celebrities' relationships, where they sort of become their own pop culture moments in and of themselves, which kind of explains why news media is so adamant about catching the latest scoop on who's dating who, because they are so profitable in terms of like people wanting to know and being the first to break like the next big pop culture moment, you know? From the media perspective and the celebrity perspective, it's just so interesting how involved things get. Like, for example, talking about media and celebrity involvement in celebrity relationships. Joe Jonas and Sofie Turner. If you didn't know, they're allegedly going through the process of a divorce, and this alleged divorce has become very public, and a lot of things have been said from both parties. And what I find most interesting about this whole thing is the specific language that is being used to describe each party. In one article, they said that their divorce was an amicable decision, but what caused them to come out with this joint statement were that there were a lot of narratives online from alleged insiders and from different publications that tried to strategically paint each party in a different light, if that makes sense. Like, for example, an insider on a TMZ article spoke about how Sofie Turner has like a really large party lifestyle and likes being out in the scene, as opposed to Joe Jonas, who likes to be more home-centered. And it doesn't take a degree in communication and media studies to know what that's saying, although I do have one of those. And that's just very clearly trying to paint this image of Sofie Turner not being a good mom or like a good partner, implying that while allegedly Sofie would be out partying and having the time of her life, she'd be neglecting the kids, and that's where Joe Jonas would have to pick up the slack. And this sent the internet into a frenzy against Joe Jonas because people were believing that this was a attempt to try and get Sofie Turner to look like a bad parent so that in the preceding divorce filings, that would be taken into account, allegedly. And this is where we circle back a little bit, talking about the fan relationship with these celebrities. While it's completely understandable and justified to come to the defense of someone that's being the victim of a alleged smear campaign, it's also important to wait for more information so that there is less like misinformation from either party. Because once their joint statement came out where they talk about how it's an amicable divorce and how they're trying to work through it and how they're very explicitly requesting for privacy for their family and children, the most we can do is respect that, you know? And privacy is one of the most important things you can have as an individual, which is why protecting it should be top of mind, which is so convenient because this video sponsor, CyberGhost VPN, is so good at protecting your privacy. Take it away, sponsor Rumi. Everyone should be able to feel safe online without having to worry about hackers or malicious websites in 2023. But the reality is, that's just not the case for most people. That's why I'm so excited about this video sponsor, CyberGhost VPN. I know the word VPN gets thrown around a bunch, and you may be asking yourself, what is a VPN? Well, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. With CyberGhost VPN, all of your traffic goes through a secure VPN tunnel, your IP address is hidden, and your data is encrypted for maximum security. CyberGhost VPN is available on all platforms, including Windows, macOS, Android, iOS, and much, much more. They also have a strict no logs policy, so no one will know your online activity, including CyberGhosts themselves. And unlike a lot of services out right now, you can use one subscription to cover up to 7 devices at a time so that you can share with friends and family. CyberGhost also offers a 45-day money-back guarantee and 24/7 customer support, so everything is essentially risk-free. With CyberGhost VPN, you can access geo-restricted content from websites and social media networks, find better deals online, play games blocked in your region, as well as protecting your identity by keeping your data encrypted. You can also get access to block libraries from over 40 different streaming services, including some of your favorites. And with over 38 million users and 5 stars on Trustpilot, CyberGhost VPN is one of the best VPNs out on the market right now. And lucky for all the viewers of this video, CyberGhost VPN has given their best deal ever. By clicking the link in the pinned comment or in the description of this video, you can get started with CyberGhost VPN for just $2.03 a month and get 4 months of CyberGhost VPN completely for free. And $2 a month to feel safe online does not sound bad at all. So start protecting yourself today with CyberGhost VPN. Thank you so much, CyberGhost, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into it. Privacy aside, let's take a little pivot and talk about the public's fascination with jumping in and on celebrity relationships. And not just jumping on celebrity relationships in like a way like the previous ones where it's out of a point of concern, but more so when it's coming from a point of just being other people's business. One of the more recent case examples of this are with Keke Palmer and her baby daddy. If you didn't know, Keke Palmer and her now ex-boyfriend split a few months back because Keke went to an Usher concert and she was apparently wearing something that her ex did not enjoy, and he took to Twitter to express how she shouldn't be dressing that way because she's a mother. And there was a whole fallout from that, and they were allegedly separated after that. But for Keke's birthday a couple weeks ago, she was seen on live with her child's father, just interacting, and the internet had a field day with that, calling Keke all these types of names for staying around her child's father, saying things like, "This is why I gotta hold my opinion for things," basically just judging her for not kicking him out of her life completely. Especially as avid media consumers have lost a sort of nuance to real life situations when they're put in front of a screen, because we tend to do this thing on the internet where we look at things either black or white, all good or all bad. Like either he loves me and is so down bad for me, but if he does this one bad thing, he is excommunicated from my life forever. Which, not excusing anything that Keke Palmer's baby daddy said, which led to this point, because honestly, he had all of what happened to him coming. Because why would you say that, especially publicly? But it's just the way that the internet has lost all sense of nuance, where like, yeah, they may have had a public falling out, but at the end of the day, they still have a kid together. You know, because of that, they have to be in each other's lives for literally the rest of their lives as they co-parent this child that they have together. So it wouldn't make sense, especially as the conflict, as far as we know, wasn't anything incredibly serious to where a kid needs to be removed from one of their lives. So yeah, it would make sense that they are still in talks, still communicating, still co-parenting, you know? Because of the way the media is presented to us, especially in terms of celebrity relationships, where we have a tendency to view celebrities' lives and influencers' lives as this big grand reality TV show playing out in front of us. That just isn't always the case, because our forms of entertainment in the way of celebrity and influencer relationships are people's realities. And you can't really blame us as consumers for thinking this way and for having this level of involvement in celebrity relationships, because it's literally designed to feel that way, like through the media that we consume and through all the different celebrity gossip, blogs and forums and such. It's all a part of continuing that parasocial relationship, so that celebs are set up to live these larger than life lives, which are meant for us to relate to and project our own feelings and emotions on. But again, at the end of the day, these are all real people doing a job, so we can't really be mad when they don't live up to our expectations. And ooh, speaking of expectations, don't even get me started on the heartthrob hate trains, because nothing will confuse me more than a heartthrob hate train. And if you don't know what I mean by a heartthrob hate train, basically think of any time someone date or is linked to having relations with a celebrity or influencer that is considered a heartthrob. Think Harry Styles, any member of BTS, Timothy Chalamet even, Vinny Hacker. As of recently, Zendaya, which is really funny because we're seeing this in the reverse, because a lot of times this more popularly happens with male celebrities. And of course Halle, but for reasons that we mentioned before. Like, I understand, like, trust, I understand the disappointment, especially when that certain someone is not up to the standards that you set for your said heartthrob, because it's not you, you know? Okay, the rationale is like, okay, like at least if the person that your celebrity crush is dating is not going to be you, it better be someone better than you. It better be like the top of the crop. And when it's not someone that you necessarily see them being with, or if they're not someone that you feel like is worthy of them, it's gonna be a little mad. But at the end of the day, it's really none of our business. And some people definitely take it way too far. Like, we get way too attached, way too attached, because I understand, because being a little mad, being a little disappointed, okay, understandable. Maybe making a little tweet being like, really, this is who they end up with? That's going a little far, but okay, I get it for the discourse. Doing it for the sake of the discourse. That's why I'm making this video now. Discourse, understand. But sending death threats, you know? Going on to their partner's page and reminding them that they are not worthy, don't deserve to be with, are ugly, horrid, all of these names, especially the girlies. I'm not gonna say which community, but a certain community of people, when their fave is seen with someone, especially when that person is not, they can get a little, come on, should he say, a little color funny. It's just, I'm sorry, this is a sponsored video, so I can't really get into the words. So color funny is gonna have to do. But yeah, the girls really get down like that for their fave, which is insane, because that's real different. That's real different. The death threats and all are real different, because at what point is any of this business yours? Don't fight me, don't fight me. But like, wishing death upon someone over someone you don't know does not sound a little wild to you? It doesn't sound just a little bit unhinged, you know? Like, your fave is happy. Person that your fave is with is bringing them active joy. And you're saying, and that hoe, like, that's just really different. I don't know where y'all get that from. I don't know where that comes from, but we need it to end ASAP. Because that's just strange behavior. Like, that's a different level of parasocial relationship. That reminds me of a certain show that's titled about a certain collection of bees. Like, God forbid Harry Styles pops out with someone new. God forbid Taylor Swift pops out with someone new. And because you gotta be fighting in a war to date those people publicly, you know? Because the fans and stands of these celebrities can really get down. And I feel like we need to address that when it comes to our relationship with celebrity, because that's just unhealthy. That's unhealthy for all parties involved, you know? And I just feel like overall with celebrity relationships, we have such a strange relationship. We have such a strange dynamic with them. And I feel like we can all work towards minding our business just a little bit more, while still having fun and partaking in the discourse and keeping an eye on pop culture, because it's fun. It's pop culture for a reason. But I feel like there are definitely levels and extents to the way that we engage with said pop culture and with these people's lives, because at the end of the day, as Dojo once said, they don't know y'all. And you don't know them. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. This was a less so research video. I just have been seeing this and wanted to talk about it. So let me know what you think about celebrity relationships nowadays down in the comments below. How do you personally feel about some of the ones that I mentioned in the video? And what do you think about the parasocial relationship around specifically celebrity relationships, if you do at all? Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you're new to the channel, then definitely subscribe, leave a like on this video, and follow me on my socials at Imurgency. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in my description or in the pinned comment of this video to get the special discount on CyberGhost VPN. Protect your data while you browse and stream your favorite region-locked content online for only $2.03 a month. But other than that, y'all, I've been Imurgency, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.